The first game, I'm struggling with the year. I think it was 1997. It was a 0-0 draw against Derby County. I think it was a midweek game. Like I say, I think it was 97, something like that. And yeah, it was a 0-0 draw. Derby had a man sent off. That's kind of all I remember about it, to be honest. So my favourite goal is probably Nobby Solano away at Leeds. I'm going to be, I'll not go with a boring Alan Shearer, because obviously that was a great strike, but my best reaction and everything like that was Nobby Solano away at Leeds when we won 4-3. That last minute winner, just the scenes and everything like that, it's everything I remember about it. It was fantastic. Shearer. It's not really debatable. I love Solano as well, but Shearer has to be his absolute hero. I'll go with Sunderland away. It was my first ever derby when we won 4-1, and obviously we scored 3 goals in about 5 minutes or something like that. And yeah, it was hard to breathe at the time, but everything, their stadium was empty. The steward or something like that kicking off at the end of the game with the whole away end and things like that. It was fantastic. I'll go with Sunderland away 4-1. Fantastic day. So obviously the Granda colour, it stands out, but I loved the 01-03 when we were in the Champions League under Bobby. I loved that kit. That alongside like 2000, around that era, I had some stunning kits. So I couldn't say Keegan. I was born, but I never went. I was too young, so I'll go with Bobby Robson. It has to be. Just an absolute gent of a bloke, and yeah, it was obviously devastating when he got sacked. But that's what I remember. I remember the Champions League nights with Bobby. Yeah, so he has to stand out. Player that broke me heart. So the one and only time I've cried over a player at a game, and it was when Alan Shearer retired. His testimonial against Celtic, I was crying my eyes out when he was giving his speech at the end. I couldn't imagine a Newcastle United without Alan Shearer. I'd grown up with him. Other than that, if we'd sold a player, I'd probably have to say Andy Carroll. A moment that broke me heart is probably Benfica at home in the Europa League. Obviously, we were so close when they equalised in the last minute. We just needed one goal to go through, and that was probably the moment I was most devastated, because I really thought that we could go quite far in that tournament. A moment that I won't forget is probably that Leeds away game. That's probably the 4-3. It goes down as my best ever away game that I've been to. We were top at Christmas. It was just, everything was absolutely fantastic about Newcastle at that time. We were 3-1 down, came back to win 4-3. That's probably the moment that stands out for me that I'll just never forget. It's a tough one, that. It's probably split between Maxi and Wilson. There's obviously not a lot to go off at the moment. Maxi just sets everything alight, doesn't he, when he's on his game. Wilson's probably a little bit more consistent. It's nice to have a number 9 striker. So it's probably a split between those two at the moment. It was against Chelsea on the last day of the season when we did the Unity banner. Where there is unity, there is always victory. It was fantastic. It was the first time we'd included the whole Gallagher with foils on the seats, and the sheer size of the banner as well, and the day obviously winning 3-0. It was just fantastic. That definitely goes down as my favourite. Has to be the big one. It was hundreds of man hours went into that, and obviously the fact that I had to drive to Poland to pick the thing up. So that's probably the one that took the longest. I think after that, you're looking at the Kevin Keegan quote. That took quite some time as well, because it was painted by hand and it was a lot of paint. So it was that took a long time, but definitely the big one in terms of designing it, picking it up, getting it all sorted. Was that one. Probably recently when we came back against Tottenham, having everyone back in the ground. you know, because we'd obviously we stopped doing displays for a while, and a lot of people gave up their season tickets. So to have everyone back in the ground, a lot of lads that you haven't seen for a while because they stopped going to games, I think that was one of my favourite moments, seeing everyone there again. One at Wembley or something like that would be brilliant. In the Gallagher, we want to install like pulley systems and stuff like that, you know, so we're not having to send surfers flags all over people's heads all the time. So, you know, like a big game at St James's Part 1 and like a massive cup game or something like that. One where we can, you know, do something big with a pulley system involved as well. That would be, that's my dream, definitely.